Hi YouTube, I'm here with Kelliena Smith.
Hello.
And we're just doing an outdoor interview on the fly here at the Spirit Expo. Yeah, so it's a beautiful day.
It's gorgeous.
Yes, so I just wanted to meet with you because I think you're amazing, and I just wanted you to talk a little bit about your work.
Okay.
Yeah, and whatever comes, it doesn't matter.
Okay, just where is this? Okay,
Yep.
So what I do, I'm a psychic. I've been a psychic for professionally 17 years.
Holy cow.
I know.
I didn't realize it was that long. That's
17
amazing.
years. I was paid first in cupcakes.
Oh,
That's how I
nice.
started. So it's something that always was. The guardians were always there. Guardians are your angels, your guides. They're the ones presenting the information. So they were my friends. I grew up with them. And then, so what would happen is people would ask, oh, what do they say? And it just kind of progressed from there. And then the guardians would kind of train me how to interpret energy or how to help others translate their own energy. So it just sort of became a duty, I guess.
Okay. Wow. There's something in your book that I read that was really intriguing to me. You said something about people walk through the golden circle.
Yes.
Can you explain that a little bit? I was like, what is she talking about? Like, I couldn't understand, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, how does she see that? Where does she see it? How did that come? I have so many questions about this golden. It's a golden circle.
Well, the circle's what you can program it how you want to use it. So everyone has a circle, and you can program a circle so that however you translate the energy. Oh, sorry. However you translate the energy, you know, it's the absolute truth. So I use the golden circle. That's the color I usually use.
Oh,
so
I see.
You visualize it's almost like a hula hoop, and it's whatever color, whatever light, or even like starlight, moonlight, whatever you connect to.
Yes.
And whatever comes into that energy, or someone comes into it, if it's a guardian or person or spirit, you'll feel that energy. But what you want to do is give them symbols, like you can do for guardians if
Sorry. So the golden circle is something you program in a mat, like you think. Okay, I'm putting this golden circle around me, and then people come into it, and you can interpret them through that.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
You can just visualize it. That's the same. Like that will work.
What
too.
is the benefit of that? Like, what does that help? How does that help?
Well, it does a couple of things. The first thing it does is it protects you. It acts as a protection. The other part too is a lot of like my students, they have a hard time having the confidence to translate. So once you set that circle, you know, no, it's absolutely set because you put that intention.
It's like an intention,
right? Like that.
And where did you learn that? How did you learn
The guardians are that one.
Okay, so you call them the guardians. Do you have specific names for each guardian?
There's different types. So I just use the word guardians because like there are angels, there's fairies, there's dragons, there's starlight guardians, moonlight guardians. That's just a few. But there's so many types that I just use the word guardians, and then whoever comes forward for the seeker.
Okay. And you're really also connected to the star systems.
Yes.
You're very interested in that. I noticed just following your work. Do you work with Sirius, Pleiades, or?
I'm conscious of all of them. I work with all. Like one thing that I do a lot is I keep a lot of eye on astrophysics because there's a lot of translation. If you pay attention to it, there's a lot of spiritual part, like into for example black holes. Although Stephen Hawking says that he doesn't think there is black holes. If you keep an eye on that, if you translate the spirit part, it's very interesting.
Okay, so what do you mean by black holes?
Like the black holes in the space, like they think there's no light or gravity and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
okay.
like
and they're like portals.
They can be portals. They think.
They think. But you said who was it that didn't believe they were?
Stephen Hawking, the physicist.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the things I read. But but when you look at like there's pictures of galaxies or star systems that one looks like an eye. One like that you can see energy with them. So it would make sense to me like stars would be beings too. It would make sense to me that
I've always believed that.
Yeah. So I think that if you're out like with your binoculars or looking at the Jupiter or Saturn or the planets with stars, you can have an energy exchange with them.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons to pay attention to that.
Okay. I always think this. Well, I guess I was told when I was a kid that stars were angels, so that
that's nice.
People that die, they become a star.
Yeah.
In the sky, and I actually talk to them. They move when I talk sometimes. I don't know if that's my imagination, but that has happened. Do you think that that's a possibility?
Oh, definitely.
Or they could just be their own, like you said, their own beings.
They can be their own beings, but they can like it would make sense to me that soul can transform into another physical form. So that would
and it's like they're watching over you.
Exactly.
So, what do you do? Like, what is your kind of like your everyday routine?
Everyday routine?
Yeah, just your everyday routine. Like, what is the life of a psychic? What do you do?
Okay, well, Okay, so usually what I do in the morning, I get my tea, and
What kind of tea do you?
I drink red rose.
Red rose
Red
tea.
rose
She's a red rose tea girl. Okay.
I like red rose. So what I'll do is honestly, I'll for like an hour or two, because I don't sleep a lot, so I'm up maybe about 4 or 5. So I'll watch.
You
like
don't look like you don't sleep
a lot. But it's sometimes they'll keep me up. They'll just talk. That's just sort of.
That's when they come to me too.
Yeah,
Yes.
they talk a lot.
You can hear them more.
Yeah, it's easier. It's easier to translate at night than day.
So we're talking about the beings that come at night.
Yeah.
That's who's talking a lot.
Yeah.
Just in case you missed that.
So what I'll do is honestly, I'll watch for like an hour or two music videos.
Okay.
I have them all recorded, so I'll just
What
sit.
kind of music videos?
Everything. I love dancing music.
Okay, so like hip hop or
Everything.
Oh, really?
Everything.
Okay.
Although I love one that I'm really calling right now is Down with Webster Chills. I
Okay.
love that song. So
Are
that's-
you into country? I'm feeling like you're not so much into that.
I listen a little bit to country, but I like all music.
Oh, great.
The only one probably I would say that I'm not the biggest fan of is probably rock and roll.
Yeah.
But
She's not a rock and roll.
I know. I can. Some
What
of it's
about
okay.
Leonard Skinner? Do you like Leonard Skinner?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
He's
A
okay.
little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know.
That's okay. I still like you. Okay, so you get up, you have your red rose tea, you watch some videos.
That's like to me. That's part of my meditation.
Nice.
And then what I'll do is after that, well then I do like I have rounds of readings. So I'll do my morning readings, and then I'll do.
So clients call her on the phone. You do a lot of phone readings.
I do
right?
phone readings. I have an office in Saffel and I have an office in Halifax. And then and then what I'll do is like I'll plan my week. Like if say if it's on a Sunday or Monday, I'll plan my week.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the guardians will be like, oh, we want you to teach this class. We want you to reach out
So
to
you
this
follow
person.
whatever
They're telling me.
Okay. And what about your diet? Like what kind of foods do you generally
it's-
like to eat?
I forget what it's called. I'm not a vegetarian, but I only eat fish. I forget what that's called. I can't remember what it's called.
Ovo vegetarian is eggs.
I'm
So
allergic to
you're-
eggs, but
You're pretty much a vegetarian, but you also eat fish.
Fish, right?
Okay.
And
So
I
you eat a lot of lentils and beans, or
A lot of lentils and
do you
beans.
eat tofu? Or,
I love tofu. I actually, it sounds really bad, but like if I have a long day of readings, I'll eat like 2 or 3 chocolate bars.
Oh, no.
I do.
What kind of chocolate bar?
Mr. Big.
Mr.
Mr.
Big.
Big. Love
Wow.
Mr. Big. I love Mr. Big.
I have never liked Mr. Big. I don't know why.
That one, I could eat that one all day. And chocolate milk, which is really bad. I know I shouldn't have told them like the worst advice, but like I do.
No, I understand. No, that's fine.
I eat a lot of chocolate.
You should try Just Us chocolate. I think you
I've
would
tried
really
that.
like
It's
it.
good. It is
Yeah,
good.
they have all
It's
different
good.
kinds. I don't know if it's similar to Mr. Big, but I don't know if they have. There's one with caramel in it that I tried,
I haven't tried that one.
and because the Mr. Big has some caramel in it.
Just a little bit. It's got
Yeah.
it's got like the cookie in it, like the wafer
Oh.
in it, and it's got like the nuts and the caramel.
Yeah, I think there's one. Not Just Us. It's Organics. It's called Organics. It's at the superstore, and it has like little slivers of caramel. For some reason, that's just coming to me.
I'm gonna look
Just
for
try
that. I love chocolate. So
Yeah.
that's good. And I watch obsessed with food, so I cook a lot. So what I'll do in the afternoon. So I'll do how I do my readings is I can only read for so long before I get burnt. So I'll do my
Yes.
first round of readings. I'll have like a few hours breaks
Yeah.
between. Usually I do is I'll watch cooking shows on
Yeah.
YouTube or
Yeah.
I love Lydia Italian. She's my girl. Love her. Or Nigella Lawson. Love them.
Nice.
And that's what I do in the afternoon, and then I do my next round. And usually I do readings until like 10, 11 at night,
Wow.
because of time zones and stuff.
Now you just mentioned that you get a little burnt. I have experienced that, like especially when you do so many after another.
Yeah.
What is it? So what do you do to kind of dissipate that or balance that so it's not?
Well, I
doesn't
try.
last?
I do try for my seekers when they call. I try to get them in that day. So like if I get like a day where I'm reading like from say 9 o'clock in different cycles until 11 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
I'll just try to plow through it, because what will happen is the guardians will balance it the next day, where maybe I'll have a really light day where I won't
Yes.
have to
So
read.
you just have faith that it's
That
gonna
always
be.
balance out. It
Yeah.
always does. It always does.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
there
I've
will
found
be.
that too.
But if I did a show
Yeah.
at the fair, I always book the day after because I'm useless.
Yeah.
Do you sleep after a fair?
I find it easier now that when I didn't ground myself between every person, it was like 2-3 days to get back to
Yeah,
work.
that's.
I was
too.
like, my head, I couldn't think, I didn't know where I was, like I was just foggy, confused, irritable, cranky, and all of those things came, and then I learned to ground myself between every client, and I noticed it worked, but then when I would do the palm readings, I would forget to do it, because I would just jump right into the palm reading without doing the grounding, and I was like, why is this happening? And then I figured it out. I finally figured it out a few years in, like sometimes you just don't know, right?
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
true.
real book
There
that works
isn't.
for
There
me
really
because
isn't.
everybody's different.
Yeah.
But I did find that you can get burned. Like with this show, with doing this Spirit Expo, I feel like that. Oh, my head's everywhere, and I'm not grounded.
Right.
But I only done a few readings because I wouldn't be able to do them.
Right.
So I'm just ungrounded.
That's Mercury.
Or Mercury.
Mercury's
Yeah.
retrograde.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah.
Mercury retrograde. Yeah.
Mercury started retrograding yesterday, June 7th, June 7th, 2014. And it will go direct on July 1st, 2014. So when Mercury is a planet, so how I learned, or how they taught me, was that each planet has a personality, has a soul.
Yes.
So Mercury is the planet of communication, travel, ideas, technology. So a lot of times when it goes retrograde, computers will act up, things are forgotten, travel may be delayed, stuff like that. But it's a really good time if you want to plan or get organized. It's an excellent time for that, but don't make decisions in a Mercury retrograde, because it's just because the energy's not lined up.
Gotcha.
And then go from there. But it's a really, those born with a Mercury retrograde, best time for them. A lot of stuff can get done with that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned Mercury retrograde, I'm just going to double check my camera.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sure, yes.
I'm just going to double check my camera to make sure we're all good. Okay, sorry about the boob shop, YouTube. Okay, it's on record. So I just had to check because I do find during Mercury retrogrades, there's like 4 of them a year, right?
Yes, 3 or 4. Sometimes 2.
Sometimes 2. I just find relationships, especially the people closest to you, just break down. Like the communications, like you're saying something and they don't hear it, and they're saying another thing, and it's just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So I didn't know it was Mercury retrograde.
Oh, really? Yeah. No.
And that actually makes sense because yesterday my head just left me. My brain flew away. Well, it's coming back today, but I'm still a little spacey.
That's fun. Well, yesterday I had a Skype chat with a friend, and I got to my parents' house because I was house sitting, and my dad took the laptop, never told me. I was like, I have a good call to make, so I had to run back home.
Oh. So when you do your readings, I find Skype, like I like to look at the person. You just do the phone readings.
I just do the phone. It's the same. Well, when I do that circle, I can see the same aura come through.
Yes.
So that's how they will translate.
Yeah.
So they'll pull in their cords for me. It's the same energy as it's your friend.
Okay. So what do you, wait, okay. They pull their cords
Their
in.
cords in.
What does that mean?
So everyone has, so when you look at someone's aura, it looks like almost like, you know when you look at a candle and you can see the rays of light coming off?
Yes.
So that's how I kind of see aura. So
Yes.
each of those rays of light is a cord, and each cord is different. Like it could be an ocean cord, rainbow cord, moon cord.
Oh yes, this is in your book.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you brought this up. So you see, when you see people's auras, you can see that their cord is an ocean cord. So you must see there's an ocean cord.
Right. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So you see that. What does it look like? You see the ocean
it looks
at
like
the end of the cord, or
it can be sometimes. Sometimes they'll like throw a vision of like maybe like a choppy ocean or smooth ocean or moonlight ocean, like it's that night. Or they will. It'll look like a ray of light, but I can see the water in the ray, and that's the one way that they'll translate.
It reminds me a little bit. It's totally different, but it reminds me a little bit of the Earth realm reading guide that Doreen Virtue has. Have you ever read Earth Angels? She talks about the different realms. So there's the mirror realm, and there's the elemental realm, incarnated. Yeah, she just did a course online about it, and it reminds me a little bit like that, but it's totally different. I think it would be awesome to have like that on YouTube, like explaining each chord.
That might be an idea.
You know, like it's so interesting. I think it's so cool that you see that. You walk around and you see the chord. When you tune in, or is it always on?
Always. It's always. It's not. I don't know, because I've been asked like, do you shut it off? No.
Yeah.
It's always there.
And that's okay. Like you don't feel overwhelmed by that.
No, it's normal. It's always been.
It's always been like that. Okay.
Like that.
Because I know some psychics have a hard time with it always being on or not knowing when to shut it off. But you just fully embrace it.
Yeah, it always was.
I think that's probably why you're so successful with your readings, because you aren't running away from what you know. You've embraced it and made sense out of it. But did it take you a long time to make sense out of all of it, though?
Well, it became like the guardians became more serious with me when I was about 13, 14. That's when they became a little bit more like, no, you need to
listen.
Buckle down. You need to do this. And what happened was, we had a dance called Sock Off in grade 7.
Yes, I remember this in your book.
Yeah, so that was the moment where it was like, oh, okay, I need to train, and then it went from there. And then the other part too, and like this is something the readers are gonna be, or the audience is gonna laugh at this, but one thing that helped was Sailor Moon, because the astrology in Sailor Moon, help me translate some of the stuff, because they would get me astrology books, and then I'd watch Sailor Moon, and
it would make it make sense.
Yeah, afterwards. I was 14.
So do you? Yeah, I don't think I ever got into Sailor Moon.
It was good. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Have you ever watched it again? Like,
yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did. Yeah.
You do, right?
I do.
Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say, I feel like you're moving more into becoming an astrologist. Is that something you're aspiring to?
I am a certified astrologist.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a certified astrologist. I have my numerology, Reiki. I'm a Reiki master, and I can technically be a private investigator. That's another course I took. But there's
Wait a minute, what?
10 years ago, I took a private investigator course.
Oh,
and
okay.
So because I did paranormal investigations, so I wanted to make sure I did it right. So I took a course.
That is really cool.
Yeah, so I took a course on that, and technically I could get, I probably have to do a test again or something, but that was 10 years ago. But
that's really interesting. It's kind of a interesting blend of things. It's like you're an investigator in the sense that you're figuring people out.
Yeah, and just when we did some of the paranormal investigations, I just wanted to make sure, like, I want to, number one, like, if I'm being set up, because I know what my intuition is, but I need to balance intuition with logic too, like, if there's something I should be aware of and stuff like that. It was a good course.
Oh, where did you take that?
It was correspondence. I can't remember.
Okay. And I was going to ask you, where did you take the astrology certification? Is that something that really does? I love numerology. I've studied that for a long time, and I offer that as well.
It was
but astrology blows my mind.
It's so much.
Vast. It's so big, and I just think if I don't start now, I'll never learn it. So I may as well start and not get overwhelmed by the massive amount of information you learn from it.
It's so much. Like I have my certification, but like I don't feel like I deserve it because like there's so much to it. Because there really is.
You can never learn it all. It's impossible.
Well, and the thing is, we're constantly growing. Like right now, Jupiter's in a different place compared to others. Like we don't have anything to really compare. We don't have the data from like 100 years ago, or like even a bit that we can say, okay, this is what happened, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you would like to share with YouTube that?
The only thing I would say to the audience is everyone is psychic. There's no, it's not special. Everyone is intuitive. When you work with the guardians, they're meant to empower you. There's no fear in them, or they don't inspire fear. And it's make it your own. Make it your own. Oh, can I make a plug too? Because one thing too that's really good is music. Music's a big part of the guardians. There's a really good website, eghradio.com. If they want to check that out, because it's unsigned artists. If anyone wants to check that out, it's based in the UK.
Okay. The other thing I was going to just ask you from that was, you had said the guardians don't instill any fear. So this is why I feel like a lot of people are disconnected from and get freaked out by psychics and everything like that. Is there, or do you believe there is anything people should fear as a psychic or as just an individual getting in, starting in this field?
One of the biggest psychic blocks I've noticed is assumptions. People assume too much. They assume that they think they know the truth, or someone's telling them is the truth. We need to have the courage to question others. We're not doing it to be confrontational. We're not doing it to cause energy. We're just asking, like, do you know for sure? Did this person say this, or is there more to it?
Yes.
But assumptions are probably one of the biggest psychic blocks out there.
Okay, so when you're working with your guides, have you ever experienced anything that could possibly be not of the light? Like, do you believe there is nothing that's of the light?
Well, there's different auras, but I call them they're more like weather forecasts. So, like, let's say if I'm really cranky into my coffee, so that would create an energy field where it would be, I could affect your energy. So that could be interpreted as negative because I didn't have my coffee. Yeah. So that could be one translation. But that being said, every one of us have the ability just to clear it, just to be like, cleaned it over coffee, send it back to her.
I like that because I think that a lot of people are scared because they think black and white. It's either light or it's dark.
Yeah.
But I agree with you that it's really never dark. It's just that's where they're at.
Yeah, it's not. It's just a moment.
But underneath it, there's a light too. Everything's light.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we do one thing that I think we do need to remember is that we do have a divine right to a happy life. We're meant to be happy here. We're meant to be who we are and stuff like that.
That makes me think. One last thing, just when people have tragedies that happen to them, for example, what just happened in Moncton, New Brunswick with the shooting. How do you explain to somebody that's going through that, that you're meant to have a happy life? I feel like that, to me, that seems so superficial to say to them, but you're right when you say that. But how do you say that to somebody that's gone through so much?
Well, then there's a time and a place. There's like situations like that. They're horrific and it's wrong. It shouldn't happen.
Why do you think it does happen? I've never.
That's a good question. I don't get a clear answer to be honest. I get vague from the guardians where it's like there's something that soul is meant to translate, or something that's meant to be experienced, not to suffer, not to do. But there's other parts that we're not, at a human level, we're not meant to understand.
Yeah.
But it's very. I don't even know where to begin to explain that because
I know
it's hard. But it's like something. Yeah, like situations where what would happen in Moncton to those poor families. It's like my grandfather was a police officer and he was killed in the line of duty. And there's with our family, how my grandmother they healed and stuff like that. Like they carried on like that. So it's
hard when
it's hard. It's horrible. It's horrific when stuff like that happens. So when situations like that's a good question. There's a time and place, but it's healing. You need to heal and then seek out the questions. Like right now would not be the time.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that what I've noticed when things tragically happen, people come together and there's so much love that happens. Like whenever I'm at a funeral, it's horrible. You know, the person has passed, everybody's crying, but everybody's coming together. And there's this weird dichotomy of like massive amounts of love and healing and sorrow.
That's true. That's true.
And I don't know if that's why it happens, but
well, I think too,
it has to be individual, I guess. Time.
I think we need to see things a little bit differently. Like I think we need to celebrate a bit more. Like
I know.
I don't know how to, because the way society is, we're getting better. Society is getting better, but we do need some more healing.
Oh, for sure. And I guess there was a gunman yesterday in Halifax.
Yeah, I heard that's what in Dartmouth there was. But I don't think they found him.
No, and I wonder if some of these things are strategic. Like, what do you believe in? Like conspiracy theory?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
I do.
Good.
I do.
So do I. I believe that too.
I do.
So for me, that felt fake, and it felt like there was something we're being distracted by, and I don't know why I felt that way. And I was like, oh, I'm just being paranoid.
Well, it's interesting you say that because the Guardians often said that fear is a control. Fear controls people. So
people are scared to come out now. I would imagine, like nobody wants to get shocked. Nobody, and it's in a place that these types of things just don't happen here. It's Halifax, Nova Scotia. Everybody's pretty chilled out.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like that here. So I wonder.
And it can be.
I felt like it was a bit of a maybe on the part of the person that did the hoax, or is it something bigger, broader, like the government?
Yeah, I know. I question that all the time. I always question that.
You should question that.
Yeah. Always ask.
Yes, always ask. And that's how we're going to conclude this awesome interview with Kelliena. Thank you for coming and doing this. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
And thank you for doing a talk at the Spirit Expo today. And yeah, great. Thank you.